Officials say flash flooding in the U.S. state of Texas has killed at least 24 people. Rescue teams are searching for more than 20 girls from a summer camp who are unaccounted for. The floods swept through south-central Texas, hitting Kerr County, which lies on the Guadalupe River. Residents were caught off guard as a month's worth of rain came down in just a few hours.
A torrent of rain coming down at more than 30 centimeters per hour swelled the Guadalupe River to nearly 8 meters higher than normal. The catastrophic flash flood struck at 4 in the morning. Still in their beds, residents were caught off guard.
We didn't know this flood was coming. Rest assured, no one knew this kind of flood was coming. We have floods all the time. This is the most dangerous river valley in the United States. And we deal with floods on a regular basis. When it rains, we get water. We had no reason to believe that this was going to be anything like what's happened here. None whatsoever.
Rescue teams with boats, rescue divers, and helicopters scrambled to save people trapped by high water. The National Weather Service declared the flooding life-threatening and advised residents to move to higher ground. Flash floods, which occur when the ground is unable to absorb torrential rainfall, are not unusual in the Texas Hill Country. But this was unprecedented. Several communities were overwhelmed.
This is not like a hurricane where you're planning weeks in advance. You know, it hit hard, and things like this happen in a very strategic, very isolated area. And when those two things converged, you had what happened today. So this happened within less than a 2-hour span, very, very quickly.
Rescuers were desperately searching for at least 20 girls missing from a Riverside summer camp.
For the parents who are waiting, particularly that had children in Camp Mystic. Camp Mystic is a camp that has over 750 kids. Right now there are 20-some that aren't accounted for. That does not mean they've been lost. They could be in a tree, they could be out of communication. We're praying for all of those missing to be found alive.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration to boost resources for the affected region.
Most importantly, we will stop at nothing to ensure that every asset and person and plane and whatever is needed is going to be involved in the process of rescuing every last person and ensure everybody involved in this is going to be fully accounted for.
Residents have been warned to brace for more flooding as more showers and thunderstorms are forecast for the area.
And we've got John Downey on the line now. He's a news anchor at KTRH Radio in Houston, Texas. John, good to have you with us. Let's start with the most urgent question, namely, what's the latest on the missing girls from Camp Mystic?
Well, they're still missing, and probably the most frightening statistic about that is that that Camp Mystic, which has become so suddenly famous now, had 700 children in it. So there were 700 girls in the camp. It looks as though about 20 of them, or 20 to 24, have reported to be missing, and those are the ones that are the most concerned. There are other camps in the area, but none of that were not nearly as affected by the flooding as that particular camp.
And how are the families, the friends there at the camp? How are they coping as they wait for the news?
Well, one of the things that that has been set up in the area, and so far I only know of 2 locations, but there has been a Walmart and also a nearby elementary school designated as what they're calling a reunification center. And it's being broadcast that if you know somebody that you can't find, that is missing, you are directed to those locations, because that's where everyone is gathering to try to meet up with relatives, and that's those are the first 2 locations that the authorities have set up to try to unify people that are missing friends or relatives.
Now, in terms of trying to find those missing persons, the girls, what challenges are rescue teams facing there on the ground?
Well, part of it is the terrain. It's called the hill country for a reason. It's very, very hilly, and the Guadalupe is apparently never been, at least in recent memory, never been this bad. I heard a report that one of the city officials at one of the towns in this area had gone out for a jog at 3 a.m. alongside the river and said there was absolutely no sign of bad weather or a rising river. And of course, less than 2 hours later, we have this massive flash flooding. So the element of surprise there is a part of what has caused such havoc and caused so many people to be missing, because they were caught off guard. Many people were at home asleep in their bed at 4 a.m., of course, when this occurred. So even if they heard the flash flood warnings that had been broadcast yet the day before, they not necessarily prepared for this level of destruction.
So do we know anything about what triggered the flash flood so suddenly overnight?
Not to this extent. You know, I was listening to your report over the phone before I came on, and it is true. There is a propensity for these kinds of floods in this area, but not this severe and not on this scale. There's no indication of why this one was so much worse, because the rise in the river was just incredibly fast, more than you could even imagine.
All right. Well, John Downey, news anchor at KTRH Radio in Houston, Texas. John, thank you so very much for that.
You bet. Thank you